Hey guys, this is going to be a fairly quick overview of assignment 4. This is the big assignment. This is where we take all the pieces of everything else that we've done in the class and put everything together. By now, you've already done your assignment 1 where you've figured out your leadership style. Assignment 2 for most of you guys is already finished where you have physically taught or put together a presentation for the rest of the group. Throughout this semester, I guess, our short semester, we have been commenting on those presentations. So by now you should be seeing that being a school librarian is more than just reshelving books, even just buying books. It involves the budget, it involves thinking about where your stuff should be put. When we did assignment 3, where you did a remodel, hopefully you took into account where would you want your circulation desk. If you could choose, where would you put your books? How many computers would you hopefully have? Hopefully that matches whatever media center you move into, whether it is, 15 stationary and up to 30 mobile devices, or if you just wanted 30 mobile. You definitely should also have enough space for your books. You needed enough space for periodicals, places to read, places to do things. And after chapter, I believe it was chapter 7, where it was facilities, you should have seen that. But we've gone through several chapters. You guys have done such an outstanding job on presenting. I've been really blown away this time by the caliber of presentations. I'm very impressed, and I've enjoyed in the Google Plus. Most of you guys have done an excellent job with your comments on the different chapters. I can tell that you've actually thought about them, studied them. A few of you guys I haven't seen you post yet. Of course, that is 20 points at the end of our semester are your comments on the others' presentation. So hopefully, if you haven't been doing such a good job, you might want to go back. There's still 5 chapters to go. Or 4, I can't remember. I think it's 5. When you get to assignment 4, hopefully you've been kind of reading ahead. You do need to make sure that you choose some type of partner. It can either be someone from class or select a library media specialist in your school uh, who would be willing to work with you. That's how the partnership should have gone. Some of you guys that contacted me and asked if you could work alone. That's fine. Being this is a short semester, but it does work better when you can ask someone else because you will need to interview, and it's kind of hard to interview yourself. So hopefully you have at least someone to work with. No more than 3 people are allowed to work together, but most of you guys have said you would either work with your own librarian or you had someone else in class that you were working with. Just make sure that you have emailed me so I know what the group configuration is for your program site, what program site you're using, and make sure I know where you are working from. The state of Arkansas, we base our evaluation standards of an actual program on the AASL, the American Association of School Librarian Standards. So those are the ones that we will still be using, and we'll also be looking through. Hopefully you have a copy of Empowering Learners, the guidelines of Empowering Learners, but you can find those online if you've not printed those out yet. There are 5 central themes: teaching and learning, literacy and reading, information and knowledge, advocacy and leadership, and program management and administration. And there are 25 areas in the evaluation. If you look at the end of our assignment, those 25 things are listed here. So you will go through, it does have the 5 central themes, and then it has the 25 different specific things that you need to look for. And even if you are assessing your own library, it's okay, to have unsatisfactory or basic elements in a media center. Hopefully the majority of the ones that you are working in are advanced, but this is an evaluation and it's not not all of them are going to be perfect, so don't think that all of your answers have to fall right over here. This is just the evaluation tool. It's not the actual rubric that you are being assessed on. That is a separate document, so make sure you understand the difference. One of the main questions that I've had so far is where to find the Arkansas website documents. There was an introduction and then the elements or standards. There is a 2007 version of the standards, the School Library Media Frameworks. We are working with the 2014, so technically there isn't even an introduction anymore, but I will show you the website right now. Okay, if you would just Google Arkansas Library Media Center documents, which I think is what a lot of you guys had done, you get about 2,770,000 hits. The ones that you are looking for, if you'll look for the date, March 20th, 2014, those are the newest, the updated ones. If I clicked on that first one, it shows me the 2007 frameworks, and those are not what I need to be working with. So I need to make sure that once I click those, okay, and these were just adopted in 2014, but they were revised last summer in 2013. So it says that they are revised 2013, but these are the documents that I am talking about when I say the Arkansas Library Media Center documents. You need to know what kinds of things need to be taught at whichever level you are working with. If your program that you're looking at were Greenbrier Middle School, then you would be focused on the frameworks for 6th and 7th grade only, because that is where you would fall. Now, if it was Greenbrier High School, then you would be focused on 10th through 12th grade. If it were Greenbrier Junior High, it would be 7th and 8th grade. But don't forget, if you are a middle school media specialist, like a 6th and 7th grade media specialist, you do need to look at what follows and what comes prior. So I, as a 6th and 7th grade media specialist, need to look at what they've done in grades 4 and 5 especially, and then I also need to focus on a little bit of what are they going to do in grades 8 and 9. Okay, another document that you might want to look at is the Arkansas Department of Education, the rules and regulations governing the standards for accreditation of Arkansas public schools. You should also be able to Google that. But if you scroll down through the document, even though our curriculum is not specifically listed as library media, there is a portion in here for we are listed under support services. So if I look down here at letter B, media services, it talks specifically about the media center itself. So you may definitely want to look there. The guidelines, if you have a school with less than 300 students, you'll have at least a half-time certified media specialist. A school with 300 or more students employs a full-time certified library media center or media specialist, etc. So those guidelines are listed here. You do want to look at this at least a little bit. So once you've found those documents and you've looked through those, then you go through the AASL standards. You'll need to review. You will need to go through and decide, is the media center you're looking at unsatisfactory in some of those areas, basic, proficient, or advanced. So when you get ready for your data collection, you'll start with the school mission statement that should be on the website, the demographics, what's the district's and the school name, the number of students for the district, the school, the poverty level. You may need to check with the administrators, the counselors, but a lot of this information you can get directly from the website. You will need to check with the media specialist, find out the collection numbers, how many books, periodicals, videos, but you should be able to use the OPAC system for that school library to be able to figure those things out. Library personnel, what kind of staffing do they have? Do they only have a certified or a licensed media specialist? Do they have a paraprofessional? Do they have any kind of clerical work? And that could include student library workers. What kind of online databases do they have? What kind of internet access, etc. Basically, you just need to go through those, and then on step 5 or on number 5, you will develop a set of 15 to 20 questions to interview various stakeholders. If you can get a hold of any students, any of the faculty and administrator besides the school librarian or any of the other teachers, it will make it a little bit better. But I realize that this is summer, so if you only find 1 or 2 stakeholders, that's fine. It's just however many you can put or find to ask the questions of. If your son or daughter goes to your school, or you know someone who has a son or a daughter and they don't mind answering 15 to 20 questions, that would be great. Um, then you'll develop a Media Center profile. You'll write an introduction that tells all about that school, all of that data that you've collected. And then you will go through and you'll evaluate the Media Center program. You'll need to, to base everything on the information that you have already collected. So step 6, you're going to write a summary of your results and your findings of that Media Center evaluation. What overall rating do you give that program? Break down the results. Maybe some of the positive points might be with the facilities, but the negative points might be with the collection itself. But you will need to make sure that you have come up with all of the good, the bad, and the ugly for this actual Library Media Center. And then once you've done that, you can develop a plan to help that Library Media Center become proficient or advanced in all 25 areas. Does it need to create a reading center? Does it need to create a better teaching facility? Where are the problems and what could you do to fix it? And you'll create a timeline um, that will cover a 5-year period. And the goals don't have to be described in detail, but you do need to have some kind of goals that will include administration, parents, community. Are there grants out there, federal government, somebody that can help this school library? And then identify at what point would this school library become completely advanced. Would it be, by year 3? Would it be the 4th year out of 5 total years? But you'll develop that. Then you will go through and you will reflect on the process, any frustrations or aha moments that you've had in completing the assignment. And if you are working with someone in the class, each of you will have your own aha moments, and they may coincide, but for the most part, you may have gotten to a different point than someone else in the class at at a different spot. And you'll go through and relate your reflection to your evaluation. How did the interviews take place? How did you conduct them? Were they via email? Did you do some over the phone? Were some done in person? And you'll put all of that together. When you get ready to submit, you are writing a joint report with your group members if you have more than one, but everyone will have an individualized reflection. So your reflection should not be exactly the same. Your report should include a title page telling all of the group members, the name of the school, plus the first 4 letters of each group member's name will be your file that you upload into your assignment portion. Your individualized reflection, that is step 8. You'll include a title page with that reflection, and that one should be totally separate from any of your other group members. That file name should be your last name and the word reflection. So mine would be Shaw space reflection. If Dr. Copeland and I had worked together, his would have been Copeland space reflection. So good luck on this assignment. If you have any questions, please feel free to email or contact me. If you'll also use the Google Plus area, the miscellaneous, and just ask some of those questions in, as a group, it's a whole lot easier to answer those things in one spot rather than to email individual responses.